Well, Tom Steyer dropped out of the race on Saturday. Pete Buttigieg dropped out of the race on Sunday. But Elizabeth Warren is still in this thing. And according to her team, she is going to ride this all the way to the convention, even if she doesn't win a single state. So what's the plan here? I mean, at least Buttigieg, he didn't win the popular vote in Iowa, but he did win in the total number of delegates by 1 or 2, so he technically won Iowa. Tom Steyer came in 3rd in South Carolina. Elizabeth Warren came in 5th in South Carolina, yet Steyer's out, Buttigieg is out, but Warren says, no, I'm sticking in this. I'm going to keep riding this till the bitter end, even if I don't win any states. And do y'all understand, tomorrow's Super Tuesday. 14 states are voting tomorrow, and Elizabeth Warren is likely to lose every single one of them, including her home state of Massachusetts. And that means after tomorrow, we will have had 18 contests. Warren will not have won a single one of them. So why is she still in it? Why does she want to take this to the convention? Because she is hoping, she is betting on a brokered convention in which the pledged delegates and the superdelegates in round 2 of voting, when nobody's pledged anymore, will somehow decide that even though she lost every race, she's still the best candidate. And I'm sorry, but if that happens, the Democratic Party is done. Absolutely done. Think about it this way. If we go to that convention and no delegate has enough delegates to win the first round, the first vote, and then we go to the superdelegates with the next one, but at the same time, all of the other pledged delegates become unpledged. They can all literally vote for anyone they want, just like the superdelegates. So suddenly, round 2 of voting, if we get there, is basically nothing but superdelegates. Everybody can vote for whoever they want. And do you understand the kinds of ads the Republicans are going to run if we come to that? Saying that the Dems can't even run their own party, they couldn't run their own primaries. Look at what happened in Iowa, because they're still talking about that. We're going to look like a bunch of incompetent buffoons, and that is essentially what we will be at that point. Elizabeth Warren is banking on that. She thinks that is her path to the nomination. And I can tell you right now, if it comes to that, if it comes to a brokered convention, it doesn't matter who the nominee is, because we're done. We're done. If you give the Republicans the opportunity to look at the Democratic Party and show how disorganized and dysfunctional they are, we're done. It won't matter who we put at the top of that ticket. The country will have seen that we can't even get our stuff in order to pick a nominee correctly. That is going to be horrible optics. That is going to be something Republicans talk about every single day. And that's what Elizabeth Warren is hoping for. She thinks she can stay in this race just long enough, maybe hit that 15% viability threshold in several states, siphon off some voters from Bernie Sanders, siphon off some from Biden maybe, who knows? But her plan at this point is not going to work. It's not going to play out the way that her team thinks it is. She does not have a viable path forward at this point. And yeah, I know we're only 4 races in, right? But we've seen the polls of the other states. Elizabeth Warren's campaign is finished. And I am not saying this as one of those people who was tweeting out snake emojis. I never did that. I do not hate Elizabeth Warren. I absolutely do not hate her. She is still my number 2 choice. I like her. I don't like what has happened to her in the last 2 months. I do not like that she has flip-flopped on Medicare for all. I do not like that her student loan debt forgiveness program doesn't actually forgive all of student loan debt forgiveness. She has moved away from being a progressive and is going more towards the middle, and that's bad. That's also probably why she's losing. But she thought it was smart politically. She was wrong. And so she is becoming someone who made it a lot easier for me to finally come out and say, you know what? She's not who she used to be. Therefore, I am a Bernie supporter now. Hardcore. Number 1 pick. Because prior to that, if you folks remember, I had been saying Bernie or Warren. Don't even care the order. I would love to see them on the ticket together. That's changed now. But it's not because I've changed. It's because she changed. And if she goes forward with this plan, and rides this thing to a brokered convention, she is going to screw each and every one of us, because we know that those unpledged delegates and the super delegates in round 2 of voting are going to screw all of us. What are you doing? It's over. The video's over. I'm done complaining about everything, and that's it. The end. Leave. Well, okay, if you're going to stick around, maybe you should give us a like, a comment, a share, or just subscribe to stay connected with all of our content. Or maybe you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks. Just follow the link in the description. Now, go. Just go.